I got turned down for every band that I auditioned for. Every single one. No one wanted me in their band. But I stayed the course, and I finally found some like-minded people. Well, they found me. Rehab's great for that. And we made a go of it. And the first thing we did was get gone. I mean, we used to do Thursday night gigs, and we would print up 600 posters. It is this level of dedication that you have to look at. We stickered everything. There are still Tourette's stickers all over the suburbs now, like 10 years later. You have got to go. You are going to be forced to make choices that would make civilians weep over their big screen TVs and soy lattes. You have to decide, do you want a regular job? I have put my name for the first time on a lease for the first time in 12 years this year. I'm not even kidding. My whole life in storage. I have lived in a van for a decade straight. You have to decide, can you have a sustainable relationship? Are you going to have a job? Your credit history is going to be shot to shit. No one is going to want to give you anything. You have got to go. That's the biggest thing. Don't let anyone tell you that you can't do it either. That's a huge thing. Blinkers. Imperative. Along with your talent, your drive, and your tenacity, you need blinkers. You cannot err for a second. And I know, you're going to lose you're going to lose a lot, but just think it's shit that you didn't want to carry anyway. Seriously. A lot of people are going to question your sanity and your motives. It's good. And your parents are going to be the big ones. Sometimes I still call my mum at 2 a.m. and just say sorry. She's like, you know, and it's not anything specific. It's just because, you know, she went through it all with me. But yeah, you've definitely got to go. It's the huge one. It was once said that no man is a prophet in his own land, and that pioneers get the most arrows. So you're going to be walking around, no one's going to believe a goddamn thing you said, your ass is going to look like a porcupine. That's how many arrows you are going to get. You are going to cop it left, right, and centre. There's something about this country that makes me completely insane, is that whole tall poppy bullshit. Alright? It makes me crazy. We have this inbuilt need to tear down our own, and it seems to be some kind of 20-year exile from what I can work out. If you can crack it out in the trenches for 20 years, all of a sudden you're welcome back. Can we go from the birthday party to the Bee Gees to our beloved AC/DC, even to Kylie Minogue? You have to exile yourself in order to make that full circle. I've never worked out why. But I'll tell you one thing, the rest of the world is really, really, really responsive to everything that we've got going on here. And I don't want to hear any crap about the local scene being bad. Seattle's a shithole. It rains 400 days a year. The coffee is overpriced. I don't want to wear thermals under my shorts. It's not 1992. I don't need this. But they kept going. They kept going. The off-ramp, all of those legendary places that you've heard about. You know Club 100, where the Sex Pistols played their first show, was a bingo hall. You know who was in the audience? Johnny Marr was in the audience. Alright? Everyone who was in the audience, it's like everyone went and formed a band. It's what they say about the Velvet Underground's Banana album, right? No motherfucker bought that album. But the 300 people who did all formed bands. Sydney's the same deal. If you believe in what you are putting out there, if you think that your product is viable, and it is, or else you wouldn't be sitting here, you wouldn't be studying music, you wouldn't be listening to music, you wouldn't still be buying music. If it is viable to you, find like-minded people and close your ranks. Shut it down. You remember those great old Western movies when they like all pull out in the bar scene like that and they're all back to back? That's you. That's your album, that's your download, that's your instrument, that's whatever it is that you're bringing forward. Never take no for an answer. Press packs are imperative. Be polite. Only go out when you're on your A game, alright? Because, like I said, with Club 100, you never know who's in the audience. You never know who's watching you. All right, you never know who you're going to meet. The weirdest shit can happen. I met Jean Hoagland because Tourette's got put on the Metro bill because someone else dropped out. That was it. And I was sitting up in sound check and I'm watching them warm up. I'm watching Strapping Young Lad warm up and I yell, "Play some Skinner." And they ripped in to give me 3 steps. Yes. Awesome moment. But Jean said to me one day, "You're going to be my singer." 10 years later I was. You don't know who you're going to meet at any given time. Have things that are material too. Print flyers. Have stickers. You know, because we're all on our phones now. And it's that fast. You lose everything in the mix. When you have something tangible, think insides 1 and 2. Think in how you want to present yourself. You know, and give it away. Because a lot of people aren't going to buy anything. Stickers are the big ones. Even business cards to this day. It still works. Make eye contact, shake hands, be polite. You just don't know. Always look into the grant system too in Australia. If you have the patience, which I never did, but my beloved ex-bass player did, there is money there to get you where you need to go. Sell everything and stay the course and get out. And Europe is huge. Europe is massive. America's a little bit harder to crack into only because of visa requirements, but it's still worth going. It's definitely worth going. Even if you're just doing a recon and meeting people, it's always worth going. But yeah, my best advice to all of you is to fuck off and to do it. Turn to 11. All right, so do it loud. Really, really loud. Now, I'm gonna extract my foot from my mouth, and if anyone has any questions, where I go to AA, who did my hair today, where to find a good tattooist.
Who's your sponsor?
Who's my sponsor?
Yeah.
Spiritually, Ozzy Osbourne and Lemmy.
I could get that for you, yeah.
You could, yeah, I can imagine that you would have got that for me.
It's the must.
It is the musk. It's that certain devil may care, I don't give a shit waft.
No, it's the weeks of not showering.
It's the weeks of not showering. He says this to someone with OCD. I shower like 10 times a day. I just look like a dirtbag.
It takes a lot of work to not look like I care.
Okay, alright. Yeah, Nicky Six told he wants his look back. Any other questions?
Thank you.
Anybody? There will be a quiz. Look, thank you for having me, and not in the biblical sense because the chafing would have been hellacious and we've only just met, but honestly, I wish everyone nothing but the best of luck. And Joseph Campbell said, follow your bliss, so you got to do it.
Hi. I just wanted to ask you, getting the courage to kind of, like, everyone's kind of thought about, like, you do have to leave eventually.
Yeah.
How did you get the courage to kind of leave, and how do you know where to go? Like, it's just, like, it's as easy as picking up and leaving, but then you got to think ahead as well. How did you, like, figure it all out?
Do you know what?
You just have to go
90% of it was, like 10% of it was, yeah, we'll show you, we're getting on a plane, fuck. And, you know, we got out there, we decided to go and record overseas. So we contacted all of the producers. Like I said, you know, when we used to play a Thursday night gig, we'd whole post to 600 posters. We just kept casting the line out over and over again, and eventually we got a bite with Andre Lukowski in Calgary, of all places, in the middle of winter, and he did the Razor's Edge with AC/DC, so I'm like, I'm in!
Yeah.
We sold everything and went, and after that we really didn't know what we'd do, and we hit the ground running. Went to local clubs. Anyone need a support band? Can we get on this bill? Can we do it? It's terrifying, but can you imagine doing anything else with your life?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, like, did you think, okay, so this is the type of music I make, so this area of this country,
Sure.
do a lot of this music, is that what you did, or did you just, okay, I'll go to California and start there and then just...
No, that's a really good call. I don't think, you know, unless you're Robert Plant going to California, admit it, you're all hearing that song in your head right now. I did it, I gave you an earbug. that's a hard one because Hollywood eats its young, but I definitely think for the heavier music, head to Europe. We were very lucky. Rose Tattoo got signed to Armageddon Records, and the guy who has Armageddon Records, his name is Thomas, and he started the Wacken Festival, which is 25 years on, and originally that was a sausage sizzle in his dad's backyard, no lie, for real. It's like 30 drunk Germans like peeing on things and eating snags. It was just like, and now it's like the biggest festival in the world.
But you see, and listening before to the other speakers, it's who you know. It's the weirdest things. Mick Cox, may God rest his soul, had come to a lot of Tourette's shows and had seen us. And of all the questions Thomas asked him, he said, "Is anyone else doing anything in Australia right now?" Thank you. He goes, "Yeah, there's this band called Tourette's, man. They just won't give up." We ended up signed for 3 albums. I played to 20,000. I'm from Canberra. All right, I'm up there going like, I'm on a Jumbotron. What the fuck? Yes! You know, so it was that one instance of someone, which is why I'm saying, keep your name out there at all costs. You know what I mean? Because there are bands I've never seen, but I've seen that goddamn name. Yeah, I know you all the same. What is that? Always the name somewhere because someone's been out with the glue paste at 2 in the morning. Like, I'll get you. I'll get you. But yeah, it's honestly just a question of going, and like I said, you're going to have to make decisions, big decisions when it comes to, you know, any kind of normality, your heart, any kind of job history, having your name on a lease, all of it. But if you cannot imagine doing anything else with your life, be well. And one of the best pieces of advice I can give you too is it's a war and it's a job. Stay fit, take care of your body, join a 24-hour gym just so you've got somewhere to go and get showers. Find out where the Krishnas give out free food. I'm not even kidding. It's worked worldwide. Because the last thing you need is to do your Fat Elvis thing before you've even made it. You've got to wait till you're in that penthouse in Vegas. Serious. And not everyone looks good in a white jumpsuit too. Keep that in mind. It's a big deal. Hi, gorgeous.
You were saying like keep yourself around like like-minded people, but I've had a lot of trouble actually. Like I'm still in high school and no one appreciates music. Young people like proper musicians do, and it's really hard to access like-minded people. I was wondering if you had any advice how I could find like-minded people or something like that.
Well, darling, the joy of high school is you're sitting on your first 3 albums right there. That's what we all go through in high school. You're that one. You're the chosen one. What kind of music are you into?
Like folky pop, Kate Miller Heike sort of style.
That's cool. And still high school. I can't even remember. I got kicked out at 14, so what are you now, like 17?
Yeah, 17.
Okay, 17, so you're just on the cusp, but I'm going to go and have legal, alright, in. That's a hard one. Festivals. Festivals are a good one for that. I used to go to a lot of underage punk shows when I was a kid, and a lot of metal shows, the youth cafes. Used to chuck on them, like I said, Canberra, can't you just hear the dueling banjos? I was fucked, I had no hope. Any of those underage all ages shows, and it's good too because if the promoters see you there with your head, you know, around, they're like, hey, that's that chick, she's been to a couple of shows now, I wonder what her story, you know, it's that gravitational kind of thing. Put on your own shows. Contact the artists that you admire. What's the worst thing they're going to say? No, but they'll always remember that gutsy high school girl that called them, you know. And I know it is hard to find people on the same page, but trust me, it just means when you do find them that they're keepers and you'll forge great things. Truly. You will. I said I was going to do interpretive dance, but I've completely changed my mind. If you've ever seen a bustle in your hedgerow done through interpretive dance, you don't want to know. It's a bad move. So go well. Be brave. Show great courage. You were born right. If it thrums through your blood and it is undeniable, then it's your path. And remember, without people like you, there's nothing like people like them to aspire to. There's nothing beautiful to look at. There's nothing to dream about. You know, there's nothing to look forward to. There's no countdown to that big show. You are the ones who make it happen. You are of a fine, fine caliber, and you have a mighty legacy. And it's a big fucking responsibility to yourself and to all of the people who share in whatever it is that you're going to be getting up on stage and putting forth. Go well, be well, and do well. And one day I'll be in the pit waving at you like this. Right, thank you so much for having me.